Thank you for tuning in, folks. This is a sign because this is Hadi and Ahmed for episode 29 of Beard Bites.
Was that the intro?
I literally have a rhyme zone open for all the words that rhyme with nine. I was gonna freestyle it, but I didn't want to ruin it, right?
Okay. Well,
I was gonna be like, yo, we're cooking, but we don't dine. This is bright as a diamond because it shine. Oh, like I got.
maybe
Anyways,
it's good you
we're gonna
didn't do.
stop here.
Maybe it's good you didn't do that. I just scared everybody off from the first 30 seconds of the intro.
Listen, man, you heard the stutter in my voice, so I just dropped it.
Yeah,
Guys, I can't.
he didn't commit.
Do
He's
this
too
right now.
scared. But welcome back to the episode 29. We have quite a bit of stories actually. We haven't recorded for 2 weeks because life has been busy, but we're back now. We're going to be talking about a lot about SILKSONG, some Bliztcrank reveal stuff from 2XKO, Perfect Dark news, which Ahmed will like, and a lot of Call of Duty news as well, which will be a lot of fun. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it, starting with our weeks. How was your week, Ahmed?
I've just been eating a lot of brisket.
Really?
I found a brisket for like a good price, and I just made it in the oven. So just threw that just threw that thing in the oven, and been eating it for like a week.
Oh my
and
God,
I'm
a
finally
week?
done. Yeah, dude, I'm so tired of brisket.
And the thing is, I think Ahmed's like wife is out of town at the moment, so he just made a whole brisket for himself, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, this is economical. $40 for 7 pounds. I'm gonna eat a lot. I did it. So technically, I've been eating almost like a pound a day.
Oh my God. Is your cholesterol okay?
Shit, I don't know. I'm not done my annual checkup. We're gonna leave it that way. You know what's funny? I started working out because I was like, oh, let me work out so I could prove the doctor wrong. I'm gonna finally lose weight and I'm gonna get the numbers right. And then
Doctor, I don't feel so good. Why?
What
What happened? I ate a pound of brisket today, and yesterday, and the day before.
Yeah, I was. So yeah, it's funny because like I had my numbers so right, and then it's funny. It's been almost like a year and a half. Like I had my numbers so right, and then last Christmas, last Christmas and Thanksgiving season, I messed it up, and then I was like, I'm gonna get back on track. Spoiler alert: did not get back on track. So until I get back on track, I'm not going to the doctor. We on strike. Plus, I mean, save some money. Why not? No,
That
JK,
is
guys,
true.
go to the doctor, please. Like, if you need to. I'm not advocating for this. But my week, aside from the brisket, I've been playing Deadlock since the update, which is really nice. And we're having a lot of fun. And honestly, it's a good mix of MOBAs, like of how MOBAs feel, because it's not as toxic or as stressful as like League or Dota. So that's nice. I think it's because like
Yes.
there's less emphasis on like some objectives. So I mean that's nice. I feel. So yeah, just been doing that for the most part. How about yourself?
I have been playing a lot of Deadlock as well. It's been really fun, honestly. Like, they released 6 new heroes. They did a bunch of balance changes since we last played it. They removed a whole lane, all this stuff, and honestly, I'm really liking it. I think you're right that it does feel different from League and Dota. I think the difference here is what they've done differently is that they made it very like they made turning back, like coming back, really possible from like the break. If you're on the edge of and like about to lose and all this stuff, I feel like you can go and farm, you can hold base, and you can kind of like make a comeback if you have some smart team fights. However, you still can get steamrolled if you don't know what you're doing. But it is quite fun. I can feel the toxicity coming in for me a little bit, but it's managed at the moment. And then I also played a lot of Hollow Knight. So
Interesting.
I obviously with SILKSONG coming out, which we'll talk about, I like came to the realization, or I thought about it, and I never actually finished Hollow Knight. And I never got far into Hollow Knight. I only beat like the first 2-ish areas, and I was like, this game isn't for me. I'm not really a big fan. The Metroidvania style gameplay loop just didn't like appeal to me at that point, so I kind of left it in the dust. But I picked it up again because SILKSONG's coming out, and I was like, all right, let me give it a shot just to see what this generational game is doing for people, right? And I'm very glad that I did, because I'm actually very much enjoying it this time around.
Really, I was reading a tweet from what's his, I think Gene Park from Washington Post, and he was saying how the first, I mean, Hollow Knight doesn't really give you like a motivation, saying like why is the character doing this stuff, and it's more of a exploration.
Yes.
Like you're supposed to. So do you feel like that is part of the reason why you didn't fully get into it the first time around, or
maybe? I think that is part of it. I think also part of it was that like I felt was that like I would get lost and I'm like, dude, I don't know what I'm doing. But I, instead of being like, I don't have a map for this area sucks, I've been like, okay, I don't have a map for this area yet, just let me explore and try to find it and manage my inventory, my life, until I find a map. And then once I find a map, then it's like, okay, now this area is a lot more navigable, you know.
yeah.
And then the progression of getting different like items to explore, things like that, I'm really liking. What I'm somewhat struggling with right now, it's like, okay, I remember I have to go somewhere to do this with this certain like build that I have, or this certain ability that I now have. I just don't know, I don't remember where that was, you know. So committing those things to memory is really important. Obviously they give you like little map pins and things like that you can put on, but I haven't done that. Like I hadn't purchased it at the time when I was like in those areas, but now I've purchased it, so now I think I'll mitigate that problem. So it's not like incremental progress. It's like kind of nice, you know.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah. And it feels really good to play. Obviously, it feels like a fun, it's a fun 2D like platformer that like rewards like high skill combat. So like good timing, you know, being able to pay attention to what enemies do, learning their movesets, things like that. Really tight platforming. There's this ability, like this mechanic of like, if you attack downward on some spikes, instead of hitting the spikes, you bounce off the spikes. And there's some areas that you can't really access until you learn that mechanic, and they don't tell you can do it. It's just something you kind of figure out. And it's really cool. I really like it a lot. It's not the optimized way to do these things. Like I was doing it in an area that I now have a wall climb ability that I'm like, oh, like I could have just done this with wall climbing. But regardless, like the spike jump still worked, and it's pretty cool to like be able to pull that off, you know.
Speedrunner tech over here. You're just beating the game before it gives it to you, right?
Yeah, there you go. I'm like figuring out, I'm like, oh. But it's good. I do plan on finishing it, mostly because now I have the motivation of like, oh, SILKSONG is now out, I can just play that, you know. But I suspect it'll take me a bit, because I've heard Hollow Knight has a ton of content, and I do want to experience a lot of it, if not all of it. So more updates on that to come. I played a little bit of Horizon Forbidden West. I just jumped into Hollow Knight first and kind of left the other one behind for now, but I'll play more of it eventually. Excuse me.
Oh, that game must be so bad. I got you yawning. That's great.
Yeah, it's not a bad game. It's just I don't have the motivation to like really sit down and play it. Oh, I will also say this. Okay, I wrote this down on a sticky note to talk about on the podcast. So the way my current setup is that I have my desk, my monitors, I have, you know, like my cables underneath the monitors, obviously my computer on the right side of my desk, and from my monitors to my computer, there were a bunch of cables, and like if I wanted to put my feet out and like just stretch them out below my desk, I would hit cable, and like I'd have to be careful not to pull the cables out, obviously, things like that. So to fix that issue, I went ahead and just made the purchase of like the LTT magnetic cable holders that they have, and I screwed them into the bottom of my desk, the metal plates, and I put the magnets on, and honestly, they're really like well done. They work really well. They're very powerful magnets, and they like keep everything secure. Now I can like stretch my feet and stuff like that. So like I think it's such a simple solution, yet it's like really well done. So I just wanted to shout that out, because if you're interested in like a method of cable management, this is like really easy to do. And like if I need to get to those cables, I can just, you know, access them, change them up, and you know, all that stuff. So it was fun. It was a fun installation process and pretty cool, I would say. But yeah,
it's not sponsored.
Not sponsored.
You know it's real.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about it because like I was averse to getting them at first. Actually, initially, I was like, I don't need to spend the money for it. I'll see if I can just figure out a way to do it. And then I was like, all right, I'm not really seeing any other method to do this. Like, I don't want to like zip tie it to the side of my like desk, like leg. So let me find a better solution. And this kind of worked really well for me. So,
Does your desk already have like a cable tray or no?
it does. So I've put the power bars
Okay.
in that cable tray.
Okay, because I just stuck my leg out and my I have cables, damn it, so I might need to do this too. Because I have a little bar area that like I throw like the surge protector, but like all the other cables are just like dangling.
Surge protector's there, and all the cables are kind of shoved in there. Like you can't see it unless you go look at it, but you know, like that's kind of the point of cable management, right?
Yeah.
I would say you would need a wooden desk to do the plates, because, or you could, if you have a metal desk, that also works because it'll stick to the desk, but you would generally need a wooden desk because you do have to drill them into the desk itself, the plate, and then the magnet like kind of attaches around the cables to it. They do have adhesive on it, but if the cables are like heavy enough, it'll pull the plate off of the desk with the adhesive. So the screw really helps like stick it in there and keep it there. I haven't had it drop since. So, and they say like, hey, you can use the adhesive, but we recommend using like the plate because the screw, because it'll be more secure, which yeah, I would agree. But yeah. So other than that, I don't really have anything else. We can go ahead and get into the news. There's quite a bit of stories today. First one being is that Ahmed and I recently went to Japan, and while we were there, we actually saw the crew that makes the Forza games there plotting for the next game.
The crew and Forza are two separate games. What are you talking?
Yeah, well, you know. No, just kidding.
Dumb joke. Never mind. The crew is another racing game. The Forza is a racing game.
The Forza?
The Forza, please, Rob.
Get the Forza and the Nintendo and the PlayStation. The PlayStation.
The Forza.
The Forza Horizon.
Why not 5?
Why not 7? Huh? But according to Windows Central, or it's on Windows Central, that Forza Horizon 6 could be heading Japan. So there was some leaks, I believe. Let me see here. Let me make sure I got this right here. Let me make sure. Yeah, so Windows Central saw some documentation suggesting that Forza Horizon 6 will be in Japan, which is very cool. I do wonder. Yeah, so that's kind of dope. Like to going up and down the length of Japan. The city drivings will be really cool. I'm sure there'll be more of like an emphasis on like street race culture over there as well with that kind of game. But I do wonder how they're gonna make this game with half the team laid off.
I don't know. I mean, they'll probably get contractors or just I don't know. I don't know how much different this game is gonna be than Forza 5 in terms of like gameplay.
Yeah.
Like from a settings perspective, sure. Because to be frank, I don't know what the difference between 4 and 5 is, and just aside from the setting and maybe some cars. So I mean, I'm ignorant here.
I think 4, because where was 4? Was in London, right, or Britain?
Yeah, it was in like England somewhere.
Right? Most boring ass location. Yeah. But with 5, they really did emphasis on like outdoor like things like dirt tracks and things like that. I'm sure they had it in 4, but 5 I felt like was a really big emphasis on that. And they had like a cool Lego like collaboration, so that was really neat. And not to say 4 didn't have cool collaborations, but that's the one that stuck out with me. So that's the thing. I think 5 was a little bit more like arcadey and outlandish, and then 6, I can only imagine they'll go, you know, the same kind of craziness with it.
Yeah, I it's interesting because Microsoft had really bad PR with not PR. I guess they don't have the best image in Japan because it's like because Japan I think is much more of a handheld like culture, and Sony and Microsoft, Sony and Nintendo are like extremely huge there, and even with the 360 when it was like the king in the US, it didn't really make a footprint in Japan. So I guess maybe it's good, or it's interesting to see that they're maybe like leaning into it a bit here, see if they can sway people into playing their Xbox games, I guess. So
I got you. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I also heard that they got in trouble during, I think, when Forza Horizon 5 was coming out, they got in trouble for defiling or like no, sorry. I've heard they did a good job of like respecting the culture of Mexico and bringing in like experts on the culture and things like that to like really emphasize like this is like what we're like known for, this is what you should focus on with a game like this. So if they had that same level of effort with the Japan side of things in the Japan like setting, I think it'll win the bonus points as well, because people be like, oh, like, hey, they're making an effort to like respect our culture and like making sure that like they're getting the like showcasing the right things in a game like this, you know?
Yeah.
Which is cool. I'm all for that idea of like having like a cultural expert come in and be like, hey, like this is what you should have in the game, this is what you shouldn't have, this is like all that stuff. I think it lends credence to like the idea of the game being more more interesting and like more like well thought out, you know?
Hopefully it's good, man, because I feel like, I don't know, street racing in Japan is just a vibe. So
yeah, it is. We saw some cool cars when we were there. Like we didn't see the street racing like circuit, but
yeah, we saw actually a proper Supra, so it was
yeah, it was really nice. But yeah, it's just like a adherence to what makes the game good, you know, or what makes the culture good.
Yeah.
Just like when Call of Duty said, hey, listen, we heard your feedback, we listen, you know, we're here right alongside you, and we understand that we got a little carried away, right? We got a little carried away with exactly what is, you know, our game identity. We got carried away with what is happening. So going forward, Black Ops 7's skins and operators will no longer carry forward to Black Ops 7 because we're trying to maintain the gritty realism, if that makes sense.
Yeah, bro. Boots on the ground. What do you know? They're real soldiers there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know, and hey, I respect it because.
Right.
What?
You're telling me Nicki Minaj is a veteran?
Yeah. So that's the thing, right? That makes sense. That's cool. By the way, if you pre-order Black Ops 7, you will get a zombie robot as well as Reznov challenge pack. Pre-order now. By the way, we are keeping to our identity of gritty realism. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, they had some. Yeah, you have. So if you pre-order, you get one dude in a boxy freaking mech suit. You get another guy that looks like an animatronic with a freaking Iron Man unibeam arc reactor plate.
Yep. You get a blue hologram band as well.
Yeah.
Which is on brand for what the game is about. However, 2 of those characters that were showcased in that pre-order challenge pack have been dead in the series canonically, or actually not canonically, we don't know what's canon at this point, but from Black Ops 2 they've been dead for like 40 plus years. So yeah, they say this, and I think one, it's just because they got a ton of backlash for what they showed as the trailer. People were like, what the hell is this, right? And then 2, I think that like I think it's really goofy that they kind of came out and said this, and then they have this like, by the way, or pre-order the Reznov challenge pack, you know?
Yeah. I mean, they need to make money, but they need to just stick into like some in a specific way, because I think they're like, it's a stark comparison to Battlefield, where like if you look at Battlefield just like 2042, that didn't have any like crazy, like they had like somewhat level grounded skins there, right? And even between that and Battlefield 6, they're just like the raw character models, like it looks like, oh, you're just another like you're just another soldier. So like just from the initial feeling, I get that like Battlefield is more serious about this, and COD is just like, all right, bro, at some point we're gonna get Snoop Dogg emotes and all this stuff. Yeah.
The thing is, I think they say this, and then I think later down the life cycle, they're just gonna come up again. I don't believe them in saying that, oh, it's not gonna be like this, because, bro, skins are like, they make so much money off of these skins, you know?
Yeah.
And it's very much a response to the hate they were getting from the trailer, the response of like, this is not what we wanted, so like, hey guys, don't worry, we're hearing your feedback, we're going to change this realism aspect of it. And I think a big part of it is also like competition with Battlefield 6. Battlefield 6 people are looking at it and they're like, yo, Battlefield 6 kind of slaps, like compared to like what COD is right now. Like, I would rather pre-order that. A change that is, I think, reflected because of Battlefield 6. So Battlefield kind of came out and announced that, and this is part of the same story basically, where they came out and said the minimum install size is 55 gigabytes with the recommended at 80 gigabytes, which it's not a tiny game, right? That size, I'm not going to say that's like small, but for a modern AAA shooter, that's like pretty good, right? And then basically a month later, Call of Duty optimizes their install by reducing it by over 100 gigabytes. And then according to Modern Warzone, just specific numbers, it goes from, let me see here. So version 1.078 is 126 gigabytes. And then version 1.08 is going to be 25 gigabytes. First off, I don't know how you achieve that, right? That's kind of insane. Unless, like, am I missing something here?
No, dude. There's just some guy left one really long voicemail that made it into the production game, so they had to. Bro, delete it. Yeah, I don't know.
That's an insane optimization.
Yeah, because there's probably like they can do some minor compressing. Like I would probably audio files is like one of the biggest things that I think takes up space on Call of Duty. So that and textures are the main. So
yeah, I do think competition is good, right? I do think that these changes in response to Black Ops being such a preferred product is on paper a good thing, but in practice, if you really look at it, it's like, okay, it's kind of sad that they had to come out and say that in the first place and then be like, guys, don't worry, we hear you, we're gonna make this change, right? But then they release a skin pack that's like the exact antithesis of what they're saying. So until the product is out and like until it's competing with Black Ops 6, I really wonder how much they're going to stick to their guns, because if Black Ops 6 they make all these changes and the Black Ops 6 is still like kicking their ass, they're going to be like, oh shit, okay, bust out the crazy skins, we changed our mind, you know?
Yeah.
Because now also, like, I wonder for all these people who bought skins in Black Ops 6, I wonder if they're going to be upset that they can't bring their operators forward into Black Ops 7, and will that turn a lot of people off from...
Ooh, because that was the thing in from like the original Warzone, I guess, right? That like people can carry things over.
Yeah, that's like they switched it to like the I don't know if they've switched the engine or, but they basically like made Warzone the unifying thing between all the games, and they kind of were able to bring over their skins from what I remember.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I don't know, man. I'm just so shocked, like shocked and interested to see what's gonna happen with this like saga of like Black Ops versus Call of Duty, because the last time this happened was when, like, because Call of Duty comes out every year, right? So let me see, 2042 release date, and so it came out in 2021, and then which Call of Duty came out in 2021 game? It was Vanguard. Yeah, so I am very curious to see how this next one's going to go. I think Call of Duty is in a bit of trouble at this point in time, but we shall see. It better do well, because Phil Spencer's going to be like, what the hell? What the hell?
Yeah. I mean, it's Call of Duty, bro. I don't think people are gonna... It's like, it's going to be on the most top selling, like it's going to be on the top 10 most bought game. But I guess it's a matter about how many people buy it is a different question.
Yeah. Well, do you think they're going to be able to do GTA numbers?
Nah, bro, I don't think so.
You don't think so? Let me tell you. I think that Star Citizen, and I'm in line with the game director on this. I think Star Citizen will be almost as big of an event as Grand Theft Auto 6.
Bro, that's crazy considering we haven't even seen Grand Theft Auto 6. So, yeah.
Yeah, so Chris Roberts came out, who's the director of Star Citizen, came out and said he hopes that Star Citizen Squadron 42 launch will be almost as big as an event as Grand Theft Auto 6, and he's still targeting 2026 for release. Brother, I'm going to be honest with you. It's not happening. Don't know why you think that's going to happen, and I don't think you understand, like, how big GTA 6 is going to be, you know?
Dude, he doesn't even, well, do people have computers strong enough to play this game? I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it's funny because Squadron 42 is like the single player game of a game that's specifically about like space simulation.
Yep.
Like, and like massive multiplayer. And so I was like, okay, the single player portion is gonna be the big one, not the actual multiplayer one. I don't know. But like that, then again, they spent so much money, like I think almost like $1 billion on this single player portion, because they have like, I think they got like what, Gary Oldman and like Mark Hamill, like they got like some really big names in this thing.
Yes, Gary Oldman, Gillian Anderson, and Mark Hamill are on board for this part of the game, which is kind of crazy.
Oh, man. Yeah, man.
I mean, good luck to them. But
you can get like 5 Troy Bakers, bro.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, I don't know if Star Citizen is space theme in general, like, isn't for everybody, right? And the fact that you're jumping into a space simulation game with, like, you know, like, that's even more like, okay, don't know if that's like an even smaller niche, you know? And it's also already raised like 800 million at this point, and it's just like, all right, man, like,
yeah. I will say though, like, what is it called?
No
like
Man's Sky?
EVE Online.
Oh.
Yeah, EVE Online is such a, like, it's not the same exact game. I have never played it, but I've heard it's more of a spreadsheet simulator, and a lot of people play that. Like, and people have actually lost money in some of the battles in EVE Online. Like, I'm talking about a lot of money. So, like, the passion for some of this stuff is there. They just need to drop a new season of, what is it called? New season of Expanse, and bam, bro. They should team up with Amazon, honestly, if I'm being real. And but yeah.
Fair. Yeah. So we shall see what happens to Squadron 42 or whatever it's called. Yeah, Squadron 42. Probably not gonna hit the numbers they think or that he wants, but hey, you know, 800 million does a lot of talking, you know. Yeah, just like all these AI products are doing a lot of talking over on the gaming industry side of things. So we talked about it a little bit last time, or not last time, but a bit ago, where King, the makers of Candy Crush, they were acquired by Activision Blizzard, which was then acquired by Microsoft. They had huge layoffs, which were announced in July. And so Neil Long from mobilegamer.biz was talking to a lot of the workers that were laid off, and they were saying that so some of the staff are taking legal action over the severance packages, no consideration for staff performance, layoffs were haphazard, managers who were toxic didn't really get, like, they were investigated by workplace ethics teams, and there saw no repercussions. The cuts to quote unquote bloated workforce didn't go far enough, said one manager who expects more. And Microsoft says that all staff must use AI daily, but adoption is low, and even King leadership is skeptical. So the big thing, the reason I put this on here, obviously the other stuff is very important, like the low morale and the no accountability for like terrible managers and all this stuff. But the forced AI use, right? And Microsoft came out and said that a lot of the roles that are getting reduced are going to be done by AI at this point, you know? So this is a very big instance of like, well, how is that possible? Well, it's possible because they're being forced to use it in their daily workflow, you know?
Yeah. And so I think it's one of those things where it's like, as they use it, they we'll get more insights as like how to kind of fill the gaps.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised because it sounds like they're like the fact that like they would be doing lawsuits is like a continuation or like an extension to the story. So
Yeah, it is.
I would be interested to see how this like how this plays out. So yeah.
Yeah, and I do like it's interesting because like you as someone who is in development, like the idea of like being told to use AI in your product, I feel as though like so you can teach it to learn your job. I feel as though like wouldn't it introduce more bugs into the process, like from a developer perspective, right? Like teaching this tool to use AI and like being forced to use it. It's like, well, like why? You know, like is it really that powerful to where like it can help the workload or like, you know?
Yeah, I feel like there's places for it. Like there's one thing like we did by accident today. Like we had a Zoom meeting and they just rolled out this thing that was like AI companion, and I was like low-key weirded out at first.
Yeah.
But it does like it did a really good job of like summarizing the whole meeting, like 5 minutes afterwards. After you end the Zoom, it says, "Hey, this is everything that was discussed." Well, and it gives you like a pretty. It breaks up like the sections. Like, okay, you discussed like here's a one-liner for the thing that was discussed at this point. Here's everything that was brought up, and then it makes its own like segments. So I am like a hater on AI, but I feel like if it's doing things like supplemental that
Mm-hmm.
can enhance the work around of what you're doing, I think like I could understand the benefit there. It's just like I don't find myself gravitating to like offload some work to it just because the like for it to match what I need, it's is not like the most ideal sometimes, because a lot of times I'm just like yelling at it like, no, that's not what I meant, and I just
Mm-hmm.
find myself just googling honestly afterwards.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah. Um yeah, I can see that. And like the thing with Microsoft is they're also going all in on this, right? Like it's not happening at King, just at King. It's happening everywhere in their you know spaces, in their corporate areas, like non-gaming related and in game related. I really do wonder if this is like if this gambit doesn't pay off, like what's going to happen, right? Like what will happen when they release a game that's made with AI tools and it's like a buggy mess. They have to pay extra contractors to come in and fix it. You know, like will they
yeah,
backpedal? I don't know, right?
I mean they are also like they are like the premier like backers of OpenAI. So like they're like sitting
Mm,
like they probably have a lot more access to, like, for they're first in line to get some of this stuff first and foremost. So like they're probably wanting to see what they can leverage and like from their investment. Like I think they literally gave like like some crazy number. I think it was like $1 billion in like
oof.
server costs to like server credits to OpenAI. They're like, hey, here's $1 billion, run your stuff with us, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Uh, so,
Let me see here.
oh yeah,
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. So we'll see what happens with this. I low key eagerly await the next game that has all this AI like functionality and things like that in here, because like the if it's moderately successful, they're gonna do it again, right? And we have other AI stories that are kind of like this later in the docket. So keep this like top of mind, because it's a sign of the way that the industry is going. But yeah, so we'll get to that when we get to that. But speaking of like the way industry is going, would you say that ray tracing is kind of like the thing right now in terms of like graphical fidelity and things like that?
oh, it's in everything, man. Freaking ray tracing is in the Windows home bar, bro. You open it, ray trace everything.
You know, funny enough, actually, if you have the NVIDIA app installed, it says, hey, do you want to auto apply ray tracing to like all your games, even if it doesn't support it? Like, we'll try our best, type of thing. There's some games that require it, right? Like Indiana Jones says, if you don't have ray tracing, you can't play this game on PC. Am I wrong about that?
No, that's correct. You need a 20 series card minimum, or the NVIDIA equivalent in order to play that game, because it bakes it in.
Wow. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. So with all that being said, Battlefield 6 came out, like the directors and the devs came out and said, Battlefield 6 says no ray tracing now and in the near future. Dev says decision made to focus on making sure it was performance for everyone else. That is great. Like,
yeah, honestly,
I think in the modern era of gaming, a big thing that happens is like companies will release games that are like not the best in terms of optimization, right? Gameplay, graphics wise, and all that stuff, and they'll rely a lot on ray tracing to fix it, which is not a horrible thing. Sometimes it can work out really
ray
well.
tracing to fix it, or
yeah, ray tracing to fix it. So essentially, like the game works, but it's not.
Are you talking about what is it called? The other thing, DLSS.
Oh, sorry. I am referencing DLSS. Yeah, sorry. But no. Same vein. A lot of things will rely on ray tracing to like help enhance the game's like fidelity, right? But with Battlefield,
I see what you're saying. Like,
yeah,
okay, yeah.
Maybe because I don't want to be confused.
Because I feel like they overdo ray tracing. Like, they make everything like, they're like, oh, we're gonna have to put puddles everywhere, and then we're gonna put metal everywhere, and it's like, you see, it's so reflective, and it's like, okay, dude, can you chill out? Like, with the ray tracing.
Yeah, it's I guess, so I can clarify also. You're right. I agree with you. What I'm also saying is that like a lot of games will like do all that stuff, and they'll rely on ray tracing to like have that final push of like, oh, look how good this game looks. And it's like, if you turn it off, game kind of looks like Dookie, right? Mm-hmm. So that's my point I was making. I was confusing with DLSS, but the point kind of still stands of like, they'll kind of rely on ray tracing to like really upsell that final shot of the game, where it's like, I would rather the game itself have a visual identity, have this like really well built out like brand and like image and like graphical fidelity that like comes baked in, and then if I want to throw something else on top of it, I could, you know, with my graphics card or whatever, or I want to be able to run that very well on my graphics card, you know. So the extra chugging with the ray tracing is kind of annoying. So it not being included is kind of nice, right? From the perspective of everything is in one little package, and then two, older people with like not as powerful consoles or like PCs can play the game no problem as well, you know.
Yeah, we could focus on playing good games, or like games that perform well now, instead of everything just tanking because like people, like for example, like, because there's some things that are ray traced, like you don't even see, like in Battlefield 5, like where NVIDIA was like, oh my god, look at this ray tracing on this gun, oh my, and it's like, dude, you're playing, like, I'm not noticing the hand, like the reflections on the gun barrel. I'm looking to see if this tank is gonna crash into the building that I'm in when I'm playing Battlefield. I think is like though I will say, like, path-based ray tracing on Cyberpunk looks insanely good.
Yeah.
But I feel like we don't need it all the time, man. I think we can just be smart with how ray trace is being used. I feel like is the only thing.
Yep, I will agree with that. I do wonder, like, if they say this and the game comes out, looks like poo poo. It's like, okay, well, hold on, wait, you could wait, put it back. You ruined it. I don't think that'll be the case, because it sounds like they're taking all the right steps to like make this game really optimized and really well done. So yeah, I'm excited. I want to see this full product, because the beta ran, in my opinion, really well for being like a month's old build. Like, it was really well done, felt really good. Granted, I do have like a 5080, so like my experience is not the average, but for what I experienced, I would gladly play that again, you know.
Mhm.
But yeah, let me see here. Just like I would gladly play some League of Legends again. I'm just kidding. I'm staying far away from that. Holy
Or
shit.
he's gonna install.
Yeah, no, I would never.
But you know what he is gonna play?
Oh yeah,
2xKO. Bro, they gotta get a different name. I'm gonna be honest, man.
that
What
name
what name is 2xKO, bro?
sucks.
I that's a math equation if you look at that, bro.
Solve for O
What
of
the
2 is X and K is O.
Yeah, bro. Put a freaking integration by parts, man.
Yeah. But TXKO recently announced one of their 8 playable characters for the beta, basically, which is Bliztcrank. The way that this story came out, the way this reveal kind of came out was a little funny. Basically, the support page for 2xKO had a Bliztcrank graphic that no one had seen before, and it was like updated model, and they're like, and it's like, oh, like FAQ or whatever. People were like, hello? And then Riot came on, was like, oh yeah, sorry, someone messed up, but yes, Bliztcrank is in the game. And then they released a gameplay trailer following that. So we got some gameplay of Bliztcrank in 2xKO. Looks kind of sick, honestly. Don't know if I'll play like 2xKO or anything like that, but like it's nice to see like a character that like you've seen in other contexts be like redone in a new one and done well, you know?
Yeah, because I think that's like the first grappler that can like grab you from across the screen.
Scorpion, right?
Oh, okay, JK, you're right, bro.
But Scorpion
OG,
isn't a
get over
grab,
here.
I guess. He's like a you have to hit.
No, like he throws the spear from across the room.
That's true.
Which that's low key the Blitzcrank grab. The Blitzcrank and any freaking dude that grabs in like Pudge and Dota 2, Bebop and whatever.
And Deadlock, yeah.
Deadlock, bro. Any guy that has like the freaking go gadget extendo arm, I fear it. So I mean, maybe it's less worrisome in 2D space, but yeah.
What happened then I would play League, like he'd be going against the Blitz and he'd be like, oh god, like the pressure of just being in the lane of the Blitz would cause him to get caught by him. Because he's like, when he's not thinking about it, Ahmed's really good at dodging these things and like not really getting hit by it. But when he's like thinking about it, he's like, oh shit, oh no, and like he mentally psychs himself out, and it's really funny to watch.
It's the worst because you're just sitting there and then the Blitzcrank is so low and then he walks back and you're like, okay, maybe I can go in for a ranged attack. Dude just flashes, knocks you up, grabs you, freaking gives you, turns you upside down, gives you a swirly, and the next thing you know, the werewolf like the ults from like I get RKO'd from when he's mid, bro. He does the launch and I just can't handle this game anymore.
Yeah. I will say the art design for these characters in 2xKO looks awesome. Like I think that Echo looks good, Jinx looks good, like everyone in it looks really nice, and it's like a cool, clean, updated aesthetic that they have compared to League models, obviously.
Yeah.
Are you gonna play 2xKO, do you think, or no?
If it's free, why not?
Yeah, fair enough. Someone also pointed out that this is the old, like Blitz is now the oldest like roster character, meaning he's like, in terms of like timeline of design, he's the first one of like in the League champion release date.
Oh, you're saying like he's the oldest League person, or like the oldest League character? Okay. Dang, bro. They don't even have Ashe.
I guess not.
I don't know, bro.
Not yet.
I'm just saying words, bro.
People really want Teemo, but I do wonder how they're gonna account for his size on there.
I mean, Loki, if you look at Marvel vs. Capcom 2, they have literally a character named Servo Bot or something like that, and he's literally just like a little Lego guy.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom. It's hilarious because it's just like the hitbox. Like you have to just spam crouching attacks.
Okay. Let me see here. That's kind of dope, actually. I just looked them up. That's so sight. Okay, I like that. They're so very like back of the like closet pull, but Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 2 or Ultimate Naruto. hold on. I need to remember the Naruto fighting
Ninja Storm
game
Ultimate Ninjutsu 2
cube. Naruto Clash of Ninja 2. What happens in that game? There's a character called Kiba, right? And he has a dog, and the dog is like a secret unlock character you can get, and his like hitbox was he was literally like the size of like a mouse compared to like a regular human on the screen, and like he's really hard to hit. Normals don't hit him. You have to hit only like down attacks and things like that. So like a really busted ass character. So I know they won't do it, but it'd be kind of funny if Teemo just kind of like was that, and he just could have like annoying as he is in League in this game, you know.
He just goes invisible.
Yeah. See, ooh, you can't see me on online matches that only you can see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm very curious to see like who the next character is that they're gonna launch, because they have like a pretty good range of types of characters. Now I wonder like who is going to be the next like archetype that gets built out. I do really want to see Set in the game, because I really liked his moveset in League, but obviously we'll see what happens. Yeah, next we'll go ahead and get to so I know you were excited for this game, but Perfect Dark almost was saved. Crystal Dynamics was close to moving the game to Take-Two, but the negotiations fell apart, and then some staff are getting laid off, and the game seems to be on its last legs, if that makes sense.
I saw this and I was like, damn it, man, what the heck? Like Jake Baldino was like, bro, it's better that you didn't even bring this out, because the almost second catch is what makes it worse. Because I don't know, man, there's just something about immersive sims. I just couldn't. Okay, I don't know what it is. Dishonored, I can't get into it. I don't know if for some, anytime I run on my computer, it just something about the game engine just, I don't know, just the game feels off, and I can't get into it. For me, my bread and butter, the comfort is Deus Ex, Human Revolution, and Mankind Divided. Just something about those games, I just feel so freaking smart that I'm like, yes.
And they were made by Crystal Dynamics, right?
No, Eidos Montreal.
Okay, sorry, yeah.
Yeah. Which was part of Embracer Group, and they were gonna make another one, and then Embracer said, no, dude, how about you embrace
embrace these nuts?
Yeah, basically.
But yeah, you were saying?
I don't know, dude, immersive sims are just great, man, because you're like, I am a genius for grabbing 2 boxes to reach some great, and then you climb into it, and you're sneaking around, and you do all this stuff where the game does like lets you do things that you feel like are not allowed, but are actually allowed. It's like the same level of creativity that you have with Baldur's Gate, where in a way, but like before that time. So that's why I really like it, and I was really looking forward to this, and cautiously optimistically looking at Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines 2, but I don't know how that's gonna look like.
I don't know about that one, Chief, but it is sad to see something like this like kind of fall apart, because Perfect Dark, I never played the original, but I've heard that like the OG is like really nice, really fun, or rather like it's something that like people are excited to see a modern take on it, if that makes sense, right? But obviously we're not getting that, and I think that the fact that they were like, oh hey, maybe, and then they're like, oh never mind, haha, like it's like, all right buddy, like why'd you even try?
I guess you could say no, I was gonna make a dumb joke.
Say it, you might as well now.
No, I was okay. Something about the light on the laptop is perfectly dark, because they're not working on it anymore.
But people lost their jobs, Ahmad. Do you think this is funny?
That's why I stopped, bro. You told me to. Yo, hey, chat, run it back in like five seconds. He asked me.
I will be editing that out. I'm just kidding. I won't do that. Please, I'm not crazy. Yeah, I wonder if it's gonna be like a Hail Mary situation where some other studio is gonna pick it up, like Hi-Fi Rush Studio, like Take-All Gameworks was picked up by a different company. You know, maybe that could happen
Yeah.
here, but at this point, I doubt it. I think Hi-Fi Rush had the benefit of being a BAFTA winning game, right? Like the name itself carries weight, and it's like really powerful to like have that in your
Yeah.
portfolio. Perfect Dark 2 without anything showcased, and with the news of it being like, hey, the preview that was showed before is not even close to the full game. I think they're fighting an uphill battle at this point. I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because I think the main reason they didn't pick it up, or the why it wasn't able to get picked up, was discussion on the ownership, like who would own the IP afterwards, and I think that's a tough thing to iron out. So yeah, unfortunately, that's where
Yep.
the game's stuck here.
Yeah. Well.
Well, how about you? How about they can make another game that's call it like somewhat like. Like a dumb name like
yeah, I got you.
Oh, and Clear Obscure is not a dumb name.
No, it's not, bro. What you mean? It's Clay Obscure, bro. What do you mean? Come on. What are you talking about?
Oh, actually, okay. All right, fair. Can I actually throw something? Can I throw a random story at you?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know if you. So I forgot where I heard it, but apparently, the studio director for Sandfall Interactive, the guys behind Clear Obscure, basically came out and said, we're gonna make more games. And yeah. I don't know, set in the universe, or if it's gonna be another style of game, or if it's also gonna be turn-based. But it was interesting. So looks like we might be getting more Clear Obscure in the future.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. I am excited for that.
You're gonna get a Monaco fetch game.
Ooh,
for sure. No, I'm joking.
I'd play it. I'll be honest. I'll play it.
You know, I just realized his soundtrack is him barking.
Yeah, because do you know?
Yeah, I know, but like it was just the oh wow.
Yeah. He was having dialogue with someone, and he was like, "Oh wow," and I was like, "Wait, hold on, what the hell?" And like I listened to the soundtrack back, I was like, "Oh, this game, oh my, like, oh, such a good game, such a good game." Yeah. If you haven't played it, play it. It's fantastic. Just like the new 007 game that is releasing next year also looks fantastic. Did you see this gameplay?
I haven't. I just heard one thing. Oh, okay, yeah, it's the tweet that you sent.
Yeah,
that's the tweet that I read. It looked interesting.
Yeah, so there was like a direct about this game specifically. It was like a 30 to 40 minute direct, and they showed different aspects of the game, like the cutscenes, the gameplay. Honestly, it looks really cool. I think that they got the right devs to do this, like to build it out and to like experience this world in. I do wonder about it being super linear, like it seems to be. Not super linear, but like I wonder how expansive each level is, right? Because the big thing with Hitman games is that you can go into a level and like solve the puzzle of how to kill all these targets in like numerous ways, right? So much so that it's like almost daunting. But with this game, it seems like you can do the same, but they never like they did say like, oh, there's plenty of options, things like that. They showed like a couple of paths, but I wonder how truly open it is. But it does look cool. The gameplay, the combat, the puzzle solving, things like that. There is like this cool detail. I think Ahmed, you said this tweet, right?
Yeah, where it's like where when he gets noticed, when James Bond gets noticed, it flashes like a thing on top. It says "License to Kill," or it's like, okay, now you can go weapons free, I guess, right? So that's interesting. I did see a clip where he was like able to like I'm glad they added like some of the dumb stuff where it's like he has a powerful laser in his watch.
Yep.
That he pings he like on a chandelier and it drops. Like just seeing the chandelier dropped reminded me of like the Hitman games where it's like, oh, he's able to make a commotion and like walk away simply like unnoticed. So that looked interesting. So But yeah, like you're saying, I'm curious to see how much, not I guess how much, not necessarily goofiness, but like how open is this gonna be, right? Like, 'cause like
Right.
because Hitman, you can, there's literally like 10 ways to get inside of a room, and it's like, okay, you can dress up as like the concierge, you can dress up as an employee, you can dress up as the target's assistant, I don't know, do all these different things, or you go spike the guy's, like, I don't know, freaking latte, and then now he's pooping, and then he goes to the bathroom, and is that going to be in the game, like, to that extent?
Mm-hmm.
But the general stealth vibe, I think they got, like you said, they got the right people for it. So
Yeah, I agree. I think I also like his banter in the game. You didn't watch the thing, but they had some areas where it's like you're talking to people and it's like a charisma check. You can persuade them, like, oh, like, I'm supposed to be here, or I'm doing this. You can choose what to say, and if they believe you, they'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, go on ahead. Like, you can impersonate a security guard or whatever the case. So it's cool. They kind of took the Hitman formula and expanded it in a different way than just, oh, kill them in other ways. They're like, oh, like, the disguise thing was fun, right, that they had in Hitman, but that doesn't necessarily apply in this scenario because that's not like the kind of character you play. Like, you can do it to some aspect, but they expanded that tree a bit more towards like, oh, you can fool them with dialogue, you can do this, and that. So I'm glad they got this team to build it out. I want to see more of it, and I think I would want to play it at this point in time.
Looks dope.
Yeah, looks dope. Just like SilkSong looks super dope. SilkSong has released on September 4th for $20, which is insane. People were thinking they were going to charge more, but nope, $20. They did not give it out to any reviewers. They said you guys can purchase it along with everybody else, and that obviously caused a lot of indie games to kind of just say, all right, listen, we're not even going to pretend to compete with this game, we're not even going to think about it, we're just pushing our release date. And so they did. A lot of companies kind of said, all right, we will be pushing our games, one of which is like Little Witch in the Woods, for example. And like other games, like indie games like Cult of the Lamb kind of came out and said, congrats to SilkSong for releasing. Like, we're all like working on the DLC and totally not playing the game. And they drew like a little picture of the Lamb character like playing on their Switch or whatever. Yeah, so I think it makes complete sense that games are trying to avoid launching with SilkSong because no one is going to pay attention to anything else,
Bro, I what's funny, I got to realize a game that sounds interesting based off of this delay list. There's this game called Clover Pit, and the hyphenation is Clover Pit, the devil went to Vegas, and it's you playing on a slot machine.
Oh.
All right, man, damn, give me a game for the wish list right now. What the heck? All right, bro. Slot machine that I don't have to pay. All right, let's do it, bro.
Yeah.
Bing, 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 bing.
Yeah. Oh, dang, this looks good. I would want to play this, but yeah. So Baby Steps, Clover Pit, Demon School. These are just a few games that are being pushed, which makes sense. It's just funny that like people have been waiting years for this game, and it finally comes out, and now that it's here, everyone's like, one, people are upset that it's so cheap, right? Because like, let us give you more money. And two, it's actually interesting, this is not on the docket, but there was a story of like people who like pirate games, like people who like are famous for like putting it out there on like the public platform, say, oh, like, here's the game. They came out and said, hey, like, you guys should support SilkSong if you can, it's cheap enough, and like, this is a studio everyone should support. So even like quote unquote villains are coming out and be like, hey, listen, like, game respects game, we gotta give them the money,
Yeah, man. But well, even, this is random, but even the cartel stopped when
Dragon Ball Super,
DBZ
like,
mangaka,
yeah,
when he died, man.
Yep,
I'm just saying, listen, bro, that's
hey, that's
real is real.
That is real. In light of that, Dragon Schreier released, like, when they did their announcement of like, hey, like, why did this game take so long to release? Jason Schreier did an article interviewing the SilkSong devs, Team Cherry, and he's asking like, hey, like, why are you like, what's going on here? And the reason was it's kind of crazy. Basically, the reason is they were just like, hey, we were having fun making the game. Like, that's it, you know? And people were like, okay. Like, there was no alternate reason. There was no, like, you know, there was no issue with how the game, like, there was no, like, backlog issue, no, like, development issue. Well, there was, but it was more so like they were kind of figuring it out as they go, you know? They were like, oh, hey, like, oh, this would be a cool, like, way to manage bugs, or this would be a cool way to, like, log these issues, or this would be a cool way to, like, do this. So very much a scrappy team kind of getting it done, you know? And it just took them a little bit. They were doing it for the love of the game, and they're like, all right, we'll release it when we're ready, you know?
Yeah, it sounded like part of the thing was like they had a good time prototyping things,
Yes.
and they were just able to get things out so quickly. So they're like, oh, I that sounds like it's a satisfying thing where it's just like, okay, like to see something idealized so quickly, like, okay, this feels good. It's like cooking, but it takes 10 minutes instead of 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And you're not microwaving, you know, and it's like, okay, I have an idea of something, and it's like tangible now. It's like, okay, dang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, but I mean, it worked out for them because, you know, and this is like the big story of the week, or one of the bigger stories of the week. Basically, SilkSong released, and Steam, Xbox, Nintendo eShop all went down because of how big this release was, how many people were trying to buy this game on launch and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, like there was, you know, it has been so long since a game has crashed. I don't think there has been a game that has crashed Steam in the way that this game crashed Steam. And you know, this game came out and Steam was having issues for like the longest time to fix it. They finally did, obviously, but yeah, no, everything was like just busted because of that. And what a crazy achievement, you know?
Yeah, it's crazy because like it's insane to think about right now. Is that like the user, like the max peak players for like Hollow Knight, the first one, like beforehand was like at like 10K. Like this, like in 2020, it was part of like the Humble Bundle, and then it reaches like 10K. Now the first game is at like 72K, which is crazy to think, right?
Oof,
and
yeah.
then SilkSong peaked at like 560K, so over 500,000
Oh my
people
God.
just playing SilkSong.
Insane, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah. And like to give context real quick, like let's see like what this compares to, right? So right now there's like, so number one Counter-Strike, like 700K. Number two Dota 2, like 480K. Then SilkSong. That's how there's more people playing SilkSong than Helldivers, than Path of Exile, than Marvel Rivals combined.
Wow. Insane.
Like on Steam. Specifically Steam.
Yeah,
right?
On Steam. And that's not even talking about other platforms. Not even talking about like Nintendo platforms, things like that. And it's crazy to think that the game, like, it's a single player game. It's not a multiplayer game. It's a simple, not simple, it's very complex, but like it's a very like clear single player experience that people can play. It's not a multiplayer thing. There's no like online component as of now, you know, and it's just it's wild. Like it's crazy. I've been seeing people just go nuts on it, you know, on Twitch and things like that. I'm not getting into it yet, obviously, just because I'm playing the first one, but I am very excited to get into it when I can, you know.
Yeah, man. I want to get into it, but I probably won't, TBH. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy for the folks. So
Yeah,
they got what they wanted. Now give me what I wanted. Right? You know, two things: Bloodborne and freaking whatever it's called, factions. How can I forget?
Yeah, not a true believer. Well, there's like the new meme that people are saying, like, you know how like people drew like SilkSong, the character with like the clown hat and like the nose and all that stuff. what's happening now is that like the Silk Song, like she's giving it to Hornet is giving it to like the Bloodborne character. He's like, all right, it's your turn now. And like they're saying that like, oh, like the Bloodborne character will be the next one announced, which, dude, oh my god, if it happens, it might happen
I
now.
mean, there is a PS6 leak apparently, or rumor about 2027. So hey, man, it might be coming soon.
We'll see. But yeah, oh man, what a wild timeline we live in. But it won't be
Yes,
one that we
sir.
get what we want. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So this story is it ties back to the AI stuff we talked about a little bit earlier. Where's my pen? Oh, there it is. So what this story is about is essentially like how to, I don't really know how to like, explain it properly, like without. So basically, what's happening is that Blizzard. Let me make sure I got the person right here. Where? Okay, so Gabriel Gonzalez, who is World of Warcraft's lead visual development artist, said that basically one of the things of World of Warcraft that makes it feel very unique, at least on the art side of things, is the handcrafted feel to it. That is and always will be a big part of it. And then he says, I think for us, and the way that we can think about AI and the tools of how we might or might not integrate them goes back to how do we find ways to do away with the more menial parts of the work and free up more time for people to be creative. And he says also, one of the examples we have been focusing on recently is helm fitting. So for the character workflow currently, it's like the way the different helmets fit on one character needs to be changed for each one of the races, right? And this is, you know, because of how different characters have horns and all that stuff. Things like AI help a lot with that. I would say the philosophy is always how we free up more time for our team to be creative and take away the menial. I don't know how I feel about that idea, you know, because it does kind of go in line with like the idea of what you were saying, using it as a tool to assist, right? But in a creative sense like this, like I feel like when you use AI to do things like that, you're losing some intricate detail that could be very important to like build out, right? Case in point, when you're developing like a helm for like a human character and then another one for like a character with horns, like I feel like the detail it takes to craft something like that gives you more credence to like, oh, like, hey, like they took time, they cared about this, they cared about the product, and they like made sure that it was custom fitted to like whatever model you are currently looking at. I don't know. What do you think?
Give me 1 second. I'm thinking. I feel that it's I don't know, man. It's the way I'm looking at it is this. If, for example, they want to add spaces for the horns to come out, right? For like that helmet.
Mm-hmm.
That would you rather have someone spend like an hour going in hand doing it all that stuff, or like 10 to 30 seconds for like some tool to come in and then like identify what needs to be done, and then they can go in and touch it up after. Like I like it's like things like this, like I feel like should work out. Like there's like, for example, like there's some tools, I don't know if it's AI specific or not,
Mm-hmm.
but like you can photo scan something and like you can take a picture of something and then it'll make a 3D model of it. Like that would be very helpful for like prototyping and things like that. And I'm imagining like, okay, like if we arbitrarily just say no, don't use that because like you have to do everything by hand, it's like, I don't know, like I like there's some things that would be beneficial, right? Like okay, take a picture of this. Now you can import like this model or this thing into like the project that you're working on, and then just kind of build on top of it, right? Like there are things like
Yeah.
it's not exclusively just like, oh my god, this is trash, throw it out. But like I think the reason why we feel very like, or like a lot of people feel very like knee-jerk reaction is you open up freaking like TikTok shop and there's already like AI ads for things that are like solo effort. They're just like buy, do this, and it enables a lot of like we're already like sensory overloaded with so many things. Now with AI, like it enables so much shovelware to be thrown out at such a drowning pace. So I can understand that, like, okay, if you apply that to a model of working and in an environment where things are crunch and go faster, like pump this as fast as possible, we need to make as much money. I understand the level of like, oh man, just don't use this at all, stick to tried and true methodology. It's like the argument is like, okay, like you're like, if you're gonna get a leather belt, do you want to pay so much more for a handcrafted leather belt that was hand cut, hand sewn, and it took a 30 like a full 30 to 40 day process to get? Or do you not mind like a conveyor belt machine made pressed leather belt?
Yeah, that's
like
a good point.
Like if the quality ends up being good, like you can tell the bad, you can tell, like, not to knock on anybody that shops at like Ross, like I shop at Ross, like you can tell a belt that's like that like lives in Ross versus something that like lives in I don't know, Gucci or Louis Vuitton or whatever, right? Like I mean I'm saying arbitrarily, like, better thing, expensive kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
But if you can probably find something that's like I don't know, at a mall, that's at like a discounted shop, that like a Burlington coat factory, that was like, hey, this looks a whole lot like the same and it's a lot cheaper. I'm like, okay, man, I don't mind paying that. Like that's kind of my thought process, right? Where
so
if the end result is fine, then sure.
That's a very interesting point, and it makes me think, like, from the perspective of like, okay, it's a question of, is like video games and like the intersection of video games being an intersection of art meets like commodification. Okay. There you go. That's the word. Yes, right. Because what it is that at its core, a video game is an art piece, in my opinion, right? Like I look at games like Clair Obscur, Outer Wilds, Balatro, even World of Warcraft. Like, those are all games that are like, these are all things that someone had an idea and someone thought this would be a really cool way to express that idea, this way to play this game, this way to like experience this, or this way to like interact with this experience in this massively multiplayer online world, to look at this storytelling, to look at this gameplay. Like, it all culminates in a very unique art piece, right? The thing is here is that, like, you do have to pay to engage with these because it's something that people spent time building. They need to be compensated for their work, of course, right? No one's saying that. What you're saying is a interesting way to look at it, because I don't inherently disagree with what you're saying of like, hey, like if it helps people get the job done and it's like giving the same level of quality or the same like polish of things that are like, like it'll be good. Like, I can agree with that idea, but I also agree with the idea that you were saying, like, if you're gonna do this to like increase like just slop being put out there, then it's like in the negative, right? So it's like a multi-layered issue. And I wonder, like, with Blizzard and Activision, like, to me, right, the reason that I'm kind of against this idea is because it tells me that, like, if they're willing to skimp on the details, right, of having someone come in and like remodel this helmet for like a devil character versus like an elf character versus like a human character, an orc, like, I'm not trying to say that like the person, it's a weird thing because I don't want it to be like, oh, like, if it's not handcrafted it's bad. No, but like, I think when it comes to an art piece like this or something that you're building out, like, the details, in my opinion, somewhat matter. And I think that the idea that they're going to outsource the details to an AI to optimize it, yes, from a workflow perspective, it does help. But then the question is, should you optimize that from a workflow perspective, right? Should you kind of jump in there and like use this as a tool, because now it's like, okay, it starts with the small thing and then it becomes the next thing and the next thing, to a point where it's like, oh, like we can AI this entire like character model. We're not there yet, but I can see us entering a world where it could happen, you know?
I mean, I get what you're saying. It's like yeah, like it's tough because the last thing we talked about was King, which is the parent company is Microsoft. Blizzard parent company is Microsoft. It's like, okay, like this is all kind of coming in, leading down the same road in a way.
Yeah.
The thing though, like the other side of the coin, or like I'm looking at, is like this is like too far, but like the line that I look at is, if if you have a designer that can design and give direction, then that's fine. Like fine in the sense of like in the same way, imagine like baking, right? I'm gonna like try to do it, because it's hard to do exact one-to-one mapping to like metaphors, right?
Yeah, you're good. Go for it.
Cooking, right, is something that you can, some people consider an art form, right? You have Michelin star restaurants, you have these crazy like professional chefs and all this stuff, right? In a way, like some people would say, okay, it would be a disgrace to take store made pizza dough and make a pizza at home, right? Like or make a pizza to sell, because it's like, oh, like why would you go to that route? But if the pizza ends up being good, like do I have to I mean, like I can't demand a person to like, no dude, you're telling me you don't have the yeast and all this stuff running like and fermenting for like 3 hours and this, you know, like there's certain things where it's like, okay, like could it impact the flavor? Would it be better if it was done from scratch? Probably. But from like if the end result, like I feel like it's fine, and then the other and the owner and the chef is like, okay, I didn't spend my whole day just trying to get this pizza dough out, then like, okay, we're good, we're fine. I think the concern probably is everyone and their mom is on the verge of using this pizza dough, right? Like everyone's using AI, right? We're gonna get like a shortcut, like it's gonna be rare to find something coming back. But I would assume that like the same way that in the past the only way you could be a journalist or whatever is like you have to be with a dedicated media team, with YouTube and with the internet popping off and with social media the way it did, now everybody is like, I don't want to say like it's given everybody like the leg up. Like we've seen a lot of bad takes online and a lot of brain rot, but then also you see a lot of really good creators and things like that on the internet. I feel like maybe that might be the case with AI, where okay, like legacy stuff might suck, but then now you might be able to enable a younger person or someone that like I don't know, right? Like not to keep giving AI like the benefit of the doubt, but like I feel that it could provide a decent base for someone to do transformative things on top of it, right? Like for example, like hide your kids, hide your wife. What is that? Okay, this is an old YouTube clip for a second before out of context. You're like, what the hell is he saying? There's a YouTube clip of like the bed intruder, and there's this guy. He's like, they're snatching people up from the room, from your bedroom. So lock your windows, hide your kids, hide your wife. Some guy, like these two brothers on YouTube took that, remixed it into a song, and like transformed it into a thing, right? Like,
auto-tune, yeah.
So it's I don't know, like they're like I think it's gonna get bad before it gets good. It's probably like my thought on this.
Okay.
I said a lot, maybe not a lot of it made sense, but
no, I mean, yeah, I get it.
Like but like this is also coming from somebody that like I use AI for a very specific thing, right? Where it's like like not to do my job, but to supplement it.
Yeah.
And because every time I try to get it to do something in my job, I'm like bashing my head on like I hate this. I'm assuming that's where we're at right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's a fair way to put it. Until we see like more of this, I don't think we have like we can assume it'll be bad, but until it's actually out, we just won't know, you know. I just worry just the company that's doing it, like pushing hard for this, is owned by Microsoft, like you were saying, and it's just like,
yep.
I don't think they're doing it in good faith. I think they're saying, oh yeah, we start with this and this is all it's going to be. It's like, no, man, like I fully expect this to get off rails real quick, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens, I guess. Just like we're going to see a new Left 4 Dead-esque game coming out soon. Not soon, but the original Left 4 Dead creator is teasing a new 4-player co-op shooter. And I just want to specify that he was not part of Back 4 Blood, and he was also not part of Evolve.
Both games straight snoozers.
Exactly. So he could be the one that is like, this could be the one that's actually good, or good resurfacing of this kind of game. Obviously, we have to wait and see. He just said, you know, if you enjoyed the teamwork, tension, and replayability of my past games, you'll probably find this one interesting. But we don't know until we have more information. But do you think you're all ready for something like this?
No.
Really?
I hate this style of game.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I forgot.
I hate it so much. Why? Because, okay, the problem is you're telling me I'm just playing the same 6 missions over and over and over and over and over and over. Why? I'm so tired.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's I don't know, man. And they have to add some twist to it, to be honest, man, because because part of Left 4 Dead, I think, is like the charisma, and just the general Valve, the Valve kind of like polish and the hype train that it surrounded itself with.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised Evolve flopped the way it flopped. I mean, like conceptually as an idea of a game, it sounds interesting.
Yeah.
But I feel like that game mode you can only do so much. So I don't know, man.
I wonder.
Brother should just save his time and work on Last of Us. Sorry.
I wonder.
No,
I mean, you're right. I wonder. I wonder, like, if this type of game is like, no, actually, never mind. I was gonna say, I wonder if this type of game is over and done with, like this like genre of game, but like if it's a product of its time. However, I just thought of Helldivers 2, and I would argue it's kind of the same, if not I guess the difference is that there's more missions and it's like different kind of structure, gameplay wise.
Well, because Helldivers 2 also has like a living world. Like to me, that's what makes Helldivers interesting. It's not the replayability. It's like the, oh my god, there's this like the mission I'm playing right now physically contributes to a number that impacts the story.
That
right?
is
there was
true.
a thing of, so there was a thing of like what was it? It was like, oh, you can either save like this hospital or orphanage, or you can get these really cool bombs to launch at the freaking bugs, right? And it was like people were like, okay, let's go save the orphanage, and then the dungeon master that like is behind the runs the game scenarios like gave it kickback or something. Like it's interesting to see, like, and people made made their own lore, because like there was one world, like one planet or whatever that was, I believe this was the story, was that it was like too powerful, but people were like, nah, screw it, we're gonna go in. And so like and the players weren't intended to go into there. I think it was called like Malevolent Creek.
Yeah.
So people like went in there and like Blood and Bone liberated that place, and it's like, I'm pretty sure it's liberated, but it's like and now like that's like canonized in the game itself. Like there's lore about like all the people played and they went in and they all the hell divers, they sacrificed their lives to liberate Super Earth for this. It's like, okay. But then Left 4 Dead, it's like you look at it and it's like that. I feel like that's also like the same problem with like Payday. It's like, okay, like, oh bro, you tripped the alarm, oh you tripped the screen, the witch, okay, now there's a horde, bang 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 bang. Granted, these games never really clicked with me, so I'm an outsider.
Yeah, that's fair. I played a lot of this game when I was younger, like in Left 4 Dead 2 when it first, like, not when it first came out, but like when I was early on in like the Steam like days, and I loved it. But that was also, I was a lot younger, so I wonder if this has the energy to keep me interested. I did try Back 4 Blood and I did not feel the same way, and I was like, okay, now I'm curious to see if this will change that. I hope it's not zombies. I want it to be something else.
Vampires. JK.
Maybe, but like I think I'm just over the zombies thing now. But we'll see if he knows how to do anything else.
Yeah.
I
mean, do you think they should make a movie out of that though, or?
Yeah, honestly, I think so. I think a movie, a movie like adaptation of Left 4 Dead would be kind of great. Just like a movie adaptation for Street Fighter will also be great. So, okay, for context, I saw the cast list, and I texted Ahmed immediately, and I said, do not look it up. Don't look at anything about it. I want to read this out to you on the podcast so I can get a reaction, right? And he came back saying, hey, I already saw some spoilers, but yeah, like, okay, let's go for it. So the Street Fighter movie that has been in production for a while now, or it's in production in Australia, has a full cast, release date, and all that stuff revealed. So I will
you can just hit us with the outlandish ones. I'm gonna be real. We can rip the Band-Aid off.
I'm gonna read them all. You're gonna hear them all.
Because some of these names I don't even know who the hell these guys are, man. But
fair. Let me see. Hold on. Let me look up. So it's gonna be directed by Kitao Sakurai, and he made Bad Trip, The Passage, Aardvark, You Won't Miss Me, Eric Andre's New Year's Eve special. So wild filmography. But here is the cast list it's releasing on October 16, 2026. Here's the cast list. Noah Centineo as Ken Masters, the guy from Tik Tok. Andrew Koji as Ryu, which I'm not against. Kaliana Liang as Chun-Li. I think she played her in the new Mortal Kombat, played like a character in the new Mortal Kombat movie as well that's coming out. So this was kind of cool. Roman Reigns as Akuma. I'm gonna be honest, I'm so curious to see what this is gonna look like. I wonder how they're gonna make him like,
the rest of this movie is gonna look bad, bro. I would not expect him to look like Akuma, man.
You don't think so? You don't think they're gonna do blackface on Roman Reigns and make him look like Akuma?
Bro, he should have been like friggin' T-Hawk or something, bro.
Yeah, I gotta see it. I gotta see what it looks like before I pass judgment. David Dast Malchian as M. Bison. And for anybody who does not know who that is, this guy, let me pull up his other stuff because I want to make sure.
He was in Suicide Squad. He played like the polka dot.
Oh, yes, that's what I'm thinking of. He played Polka Dot Man in Suicide Squad. He also played the main guy in Late Night with the Devil. So yeah, I didn't pick this as like a Bison, but we'll see. Cody Rhodes as Guile, who is a wrestler. Andrew Schultz as Dan Hibiki, which really threw me off. I was like, okay, interesting. Bro, yeah. Eric Andre as Don Savage.
Yeah, that's like a random character, but like, okay, I'm looking at the picture that they put for him. He's a dude with a handlebar mustache with an America top hat, like with like a red, white, and blue stripes. long hair, wearing glasses. Okay, he looks like a funny kind of looking kind of guy.
Yep. I think this is great. Let me see here. What this next one is Vidyut Jamwal as Dalsum, and I'm trying to see what else he played before. He was in a bunch of Bollywood films, and then I don't think
there's two other names we should just rip the band-aid off.
We're getting there. I'm just trying to give everyone credence. 50 Cent as Balrog.
Bro, this is the worst. This is the worst. This man ran out of vitamin water money. What the heck? Why is he here? Why are you here?
What was the picture? What the hell a polar bear doing in Texas or whatever?
Yeah, bro, this is funny because Balrog is he's a boxer in the game, which like in the game high key looks just like Mike Tyson. I think the bit that's funny is that 50 Cent's been beefing with Floyd Mayweather for a long time. So he's playing a boxer. So I don't know, man. This is a little bit of full circle here, but
yeah.
Well, what the hell is 50 Cent doing, man? Get like Terry Crews or something.
Listen, bro, you can't keep him down.
This dude, how's he gonna act? I've never even seen 50 Cent act in anything, bro.
Well, now you're about to see it. The thing is, he's playing Balrog, which is like it's a choice, you know, like.
Yeah, but him and the studio had to shake hands.
Yeah,
they both thought this like, right, man, let's do it.
Listen, man, hey, he has free will. He chose to do this, so I'm curious to see how this is gonna go. The thing is, it's all about how wild they decide to make Balrog, you know, because I think Balrog, a whole part of his like shtick is that he is a dirty boxer and like he's like rough and tumble. So if they like keep that consistent, I just wonder how far they're willing to go with Balrog specifically, you know.
They honestly need to set the tone of this movie to be extremely campy and like stupid. Because if they don't, man, this is gonna be
yeah.
This is gonna be this is probably gonna be worse than World of Worlds with Ice Cube, bro.
Maybe.
This is gonna be, yeah.
Then we have Jason Momoa as Blanca. Man,
honestly, that confuses me even more, bro.
I'm surprised Blanca made it to the movie. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I did not think I didn't think he would make it. I didn't think he would be in here.
He's part of the OG cast, but
no, I know, but like it's just like
he's too out of the blue.
Too weird. Like I'm shocked that he's in here, but hey, listen, I'm here for it. I'm excited to see how this looks. Do you think?
Don't know. Like, because I'm worried. There's two routes to go here. They can do a completely CG. Hey man, I'm just like make them just rip the freaking Street Fighter 6 model, paste it in on whatever Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
And okay, this is it. And then have Jason Momoa mouth the words. Fine. But if they do what they did to Will Smith in Aladdin, bro, and they superimpose his face, bro, this is I'm walking out of the theater. I'm closing 123.com so quick, bro. I'm done here, dude.
I'm here for it. I'm so here for it, honestly. I want to see how. I don't think this movie will be good, and I really want to see how bad it could be. And with this star-studded cast, I'm so excited. Oh man. And then we had Orville Peck as Vega. I don't know who this guy is, but cool. This one is a super dope casting. Oliver Richter is as Zangief, and I say that because if you look up this dude, he's huge, and I'm like, yeah, that's a Zangief, you know.
The profile pic they had for him, he's like, all right, I just see that his head, I'm like, he's a Zangief.
Yep, yeah, and then he's also like a huge bodybuilder, so excited for that. And then Hiroki Goto as E Honda, who's like a Japanese wrestler. And then we have Reina Vallandingham. Let me look this person up real quick because I don't know. as a jury, which yeah, I can see her as a jury.
Wait, this is. Wait, which? Oh, wait,
Reina.
this isn't jury.
Yeah, it says. Oh, Julie. Sorry, Julie.
Yeah,
Not
this
jury.
isn't. Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
okay, hold on. Let me see who this character
So
is.
it's
Oh, this is
a
Evil
bison.
Cammy. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, a bison doll basically.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can see that. And then we have Alexander Volkanovsky as Joe. Who? What's his name? Oh yeah, because he's a UFC fighter. There we go. And then Kyle Mooney as Marvin. Yeah, I can see that. And then Mel Jarnson as Cammy. So,
All right, bro. You can't watch this movie, bro. They got.
yeah. I actually, now that I think about it, do you think that they'll put them in their classic costumes? They probably would, dude. Honestly, I don't know. Yeah. Man, this will be.
This has to be like some fever dream, like YouTube short or YouTube series kind of
fan
thing,
casting type shit.
Yeah. Andrew Schultz as Dan. I mean, Dan is a lame dude, but like,
here's the thing, from a perspective of like Dan being like a snarky, like funny character, I think Andrew Schultz can fit that pretty well. You know, it's just, yeah, I don't know.
How much screen time are we getting from these folks? Because
that's also part of it.
If they give 50 Cent the freaking bison, freaking M hairline for his,
You're,
I don't know.
You're scared of the truth. You're scared what's gonna happen.
I am, dude. I am.
Yeah, I honestly am shocked that like it still hasn't like fully hit me like mentally that this is the like movie we're getting. Yeah, just the cast is such like in so many different directions. But the most people I'm most excited to see obviously are 50 Cent, Jason Momoa, and Bison.
Bison is interesting because I would have assumed that they needed to get a buffer guy, but the original live action Bison was a much thinner guy, and people were saying he did a good performance. He has a famous line that was called that was like, oh, it was like Chun-Li walks up to him and is like, you raided my village, you did this, you burned everything down, and he's like, that was the worst day of my life or something like that, and the guy playing Bison was like, oh, for you this was all of this, but for me that was just Tuesday. Damn, that's a fire line.
Pretty fire line, yeah. But yeah, I eagerly await this one, to be honest. So we'll see. You don't know. It could be great.
Yep.
Probably won't be, but you know. But yeah, that concludes all the stories that we had on the docket today. Anything, any closing remarks or anything you want to shout out or anything like that?
No shame, but if you have some laundry, man, it's okay to fold it. It's been sitting in the chair for a while. I have some laundry I need to fold, so I mean, freaking, it's okay, bro. Let's do it together.
Yeah, I respect it. I would say drink some water, eat your food, and go for a walk. Enjoy your time outside. But if not, play some Deadlock. It's pretty fun. But yeah, cool. Yeah, everyone have a good one.
Peace.